And finally, last but not certainly not least, I'll hand over to Will, who's going to bring us up to date a little bit more with a few brief words before we have the band coming on shortly. Hope you'll enjoy that.
Come on, Will!
Thanks, everyone.
I'm just going to cover off a bit of the recent era, probably more the ups. Paul can cover the downs. So, really, I'm going to cover the years from when I sort of took over management, 2014. It's fair to say we had an ageing team. Probably the best sort of marker of that was Rob Shaw being took to the bridge to tell him that his legs had gone. Robbie played on for 10 more years. But it showed at that time we had a bit of rebuilding to do. It was really good at that time that Tony had brought through the lads on that table over there, Mark, Lee, Sticks, Craig, and we were starting to get a lot more young lads in the team. It took a few years. We started to bring in a couple of players, some top players you'll see on the score charts there, you know, the likes of Andy Glover, Stuart Pacey, Joe, Jamie Delaney, who's here, and they really pushed us on at that point to really achieve what we set out to do in 2016-17, which was get the club back into the Premier League by winning the treble, which was a great achievement at that time, and them lads really deserved it. Over that period, I had the likes of Heng and Craig helping me out. I think anyone that's ever done the manager's job, the likes of Tam, myself, Paul, it's really difficult to do on your own, and you need people to help you along the way. So, for me personally, thank you to all those guys. And more recently, a big thank you to Johnny, who's probably through the juniors and the seniors has really helped. So, where sort of Malcolm was referring to before, I think the following year we got promoted, and it was a difficult year, probably Heg would agree, and probably started to see then that the lads that we brought in, we had lads leaving, and we probably needed to start and look at that youth setup, getting the development in, and I say the likes of Joe and Sam Kenny originally really helped me get everything started with the young lads over here. I think as of this season we've got 20 plus lads that played from sort of under 13 registered in the first team, which is a massive achievement. I don't think probably any club on the island's got that, so it's a big way forward for the club. So post that time, I think it was sort of survival, and the lads, you know, I was doing the junior setup at the time, the lads that kept the club going over that period, you know, I know the likes of Swan Ely, Curra, even though he left for 7 days, but they kept the club going there, so anyone in that period, it was a big transition for the club, you know, from having the heights to really working to stay in survival. You know, we had one club, Jeff and John, you know, they kept the club going at that point, which gave the young lads here the opportunity to then come in and take over. So probably more the recent times, for the last couple of years, through the development, at the start of last year, the year before we finished down the bottom of the league. We struggled to start of last season with all the lads coming in at 16, but then I think they surpassed mine and John's expectations in there, and I think we needed to win the last 10 games straight to get promoted last year, and they won all 10, which was a hell of an achievement for 16-year-old lads. The one thing I will say in that period, you know, as much as you get the talent, and probably a shout out to Harry in there, who's been in training with the FC Isle of Man, which again at the age he is fantastic. But the potential in all the boys is whatever they want to achieve, and if you look around the room tonight, lads, as Steve said before, you make friends for life, and the only thing I can say is stick together. You know, you've been playing for 10 years, and in 10 years' time, I'm sure you'll be winning the First Division. So, I've been told to behave, so I've got a couple that the committee have passed me some full awards. So I'll just have a quick read of them and I'll run through them. Normally we'd have pints and shots up here drinking it, but like I say, I've been told to behave, so we'll do that at the bar afterwards. Alex McNee's going to get the drinks in there. So the biggest dickhead award goes to Cam. No. So, biggest individual mistake that has cost the club. You know, big thing. So, we've got a couple. Nick Hatton getting sent off in last year's cup final. As we mentioned, Kinder Senior playoff game in the Masters Cup final, round of the keeper, somehow missed. But probably a bit raw still. It's probably Lee Curran last Saturday. Probably got the club relegated, but nothing bad there, Lee. Next category that they passed me was lads that always played with a smile on their face. So in third place, Shearer. Second place, Reggie. And in joint first place, Lee and Paul Rammer. Greatest captain of the modern era. Had a few. Rammer, great captain, I played for him.
Which one?
Lee was never captain. Joe Andrews. Oggy was on the list, but the Win It For Me at Laxey, as the lads will know, really dropped him off this year. But the winner of the greatest modern era captain, Steve Davis. Worst individual performance. Now there's a few, I won't go into the detail. The lads that know Jamie Townsend, they'll remember the stories. Didn't even know where right back was when he came on the pitch. But a particular favourite of mine was that we were down at Pool Rose on a Tuesday night. Everyone was quite glad, no hangovers, etc. Said in the change room. One lad said, "Yeah, I've got a hangover." So this was Hegg, by the way. Somehow he then managed to miss a penalty and score 3 own goals, losing 3-0. Now remember, this was the worst individual performance. If we had it over a season, it would definitely be Jeff Murphy playing up front for the Combi, on penalties, free kick, corners, scored, centre forward, scored 0. One for sort of the macho man, the hardest / dirtiest player award. We've had a few over the years. Keith McAuliffe. Swanee's never been the cleanest tackler. Della. But probably reaffirmed tonight when I saw the look in his eyes. The winner was Tammy. Now this is the final award. It's not one to be proud of really. We call it the Traitor Award. So these are lads that's left the club. No one will forget those sickening pictures of Shearer and Lee Rammer in sprayed on pully shirts. Rammer and Watty leaving the club, you know, club legends. Irish John drawn to the pink of Dafka. Or just following Jeff. As I said, Lee Curran 7 days at Oncombe, couldn't get a game. But the winner, and I can't actually remember the number of clubs he's left and gone to, Mark O'Neill. So, as I say, that's everything from me, guys. Have a great night, thank you very much, and here's to another 100 years.
One last thing, just to say a huge thank you to this man here, Steve Davies. He's done everything for this tonight, and no one really knows how much work he's put in. But luckily for us, he's retired at the minute, and long may that continue for the good of the club. So Steve, well done, thanks very much.
Thank you everyone. The panel coming on, I hope you enjoy them, get up and dance for them. And just a couple of thank yous to the hotel, the staff at the Palace. Big thank you. It's been a lovely night. Hope you enjoyed the meal and the entertainment. Giles, the magician, and Andre, the photographer. Just a big shout out to them. Thank you all. I hope you enjoyed the celebrations. Thanks all for making a memorable night. Enjoy the rest. Thank you.